Welcome back to the channel, numismatic coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising and valuable coins in US history. Top 6. First up, the 1971 Jefferson Nickel. Don't underestimate this little 5-cent piece, because some of these nickels are selling for big money. Yes, even enough to make you rich overnight. Let's uncover why this humble coin from Denver has become a prized possession in the numismatic world. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the famous Buffalo nickel. It honored Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and showcased his Monticello home on the reverse side. By 1971, the design had already become an American classic, symbolizing both simplicity and strength. But that year's D-Mint Mark edition, struck at the Denver Mint, carried more secrets than anyone could imagine. In 1971, the Denver Mint produced over 316 million Jefferson nickels, which might make you think these coins are common and not worth much. However, among these millions, there exist a few rare varieties and error coins that have shocked collectors with their skyrocketing value. These aren't your average pocket change. These are hidden gems that slipped past mint quality control and ended up in circulation, waiting for someone like you to find them. The 1971 Jefferson nickel was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. On the obverse, it features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson, sculpted by Felix Schlag, while the reverse proudly shows his Monticello home. Though the design looks ordinary, the real value lies in its minting precision, or rather, the lack of it in some cases, which led to the creation of valuable error varieties. Collectors have reported several error types from the 1971 batch that can fetch jaw-dropping prices. Some of the most sought-after include off-center strikes, double-die obverse errors, broad strikes, and full-step varieties. A full-steps Jefferson nickel, where the steps of Monticello are sharply defined and fully visible, can drastically increase the coin's worth. These are the holy grail for Jefferson nickel collectors, as they are extremely hard to find in perfect condition. The rarity of the full-steps 1971 nickel makes it a collector's dream. In fact, because of worn dies and production inconsistencies, most nickels from that year lack clear step details. That's why any 1971 nickel with 5 or 6 full steps can easily command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and grade. Mint state examples graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC can bring astonishing prices at auction. Believe it or not, a pristine 1971 Jefferson nickel with full steps has fetched over $6,000 USD in recent auctions. Some ultra-gem specimens graded MS66FS full steps have been reported selling for $8,000 or more, depending on the eye appeal and strike quality. These are the coins that make headlines, the ones that can literally turn an ordinary coin jar into a jackpot. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. A 1971 nickel in circulated condition might only be worth face value just 5 cents. But if you have one in uncirculated mint condition, MS65 or higher, with crisp detail and full steps, you could be looking at a multi-thousand-dollar treasure. That's why professional grading from organizations like PCGS, NGC, or ANACS is so important. To find out if your 1971 nickel is valuable, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the steps of Monticello on the reverse side. If you can clearly count 5 or 6 uninterrupted steps, you might just have a winner. Also, check for signs of doubling on Jefferson's face or lettering, or any unusual minting errors. These small details could mean the difference between a 5-cent coin and a $5,000 payday. For serious collectors, the 1971 nickel represents a challenge and a reward. Finding a true full steps version in gem mint condition is incredibly rare, which adds to its mystique. It's not just about money, it's about owning a piece of minting history, a coin that survived the decades without losing its luster or detail. That's what makes the Jefferson Nickel series so beloved among numismatists. In today's market, Jefferson nickels, especially those from the 1970s with full steps, are seeing a surge in demand. As more collectors realize their scarcity, the prices have been climbing steadily. Even a coin once thought to be ordinary can now turn into a small fortune if preserved in top condition. The 1971 is leading this wave, proving that valuable coins can still be found in circulation or tucked away in old collections. If you're lucky enough to find a high-grade 1971 nickel, make sure to store it properly. Use a coin holder or capsule to protect it from scratches and fingerprints. Avoid cleaning it, that can ruin its surface and drastically lower its value. The key to maximizing profit is keeping the coin as original as possible, maintaining its mint luster and detail. Experts predict that as fewer full steps examples surface, the value of these coins will continue to rise. It's not just a collector's item, it's an investment piece. With the numismatic market expanding globally and more people discovering the thrill of coin collecting, the 1971 D. Jefferson nickel might just become one of the most profitable finds in modern U.S. coinage history. So next time you check your spare change or clean out an old coin jar, take a second look at those nickels, especially the ones from 1971 with the D mint mark. You might just be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Who knows, your small 5-cent piece could make you rich overnight. Next up, today's video is going to blow your mind because we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins hiding right in plain sight, the 1972 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Yes, that ordinary-looking 5-cent coin from your pocket change could actually be worth a fortune today. Stay tuned till the end, because we're breaking down how this humble nickel could make you rich overnight, and exactly what to look for to know if you're holding a rare gem. The 1972 Jefferson nickel was struck by the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not place a mint mark on its coins. That's why you'll see no mint mark on this particular nickel. It's not missing, it's how it was originally made. The Jefferson Nickel series has been a part of U.S. history since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and honoring Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers. By the early 1970s, billions of Jefferson nickels had already been struck, but only a few have stood out for their unique features, sharp details, or rare errors, and the 1972 no mint mark nickel is one of those exceptional examples. The obverse of this 1972 nickel proudly displays the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1972. The reverse features a detailed image of Jefferson's home Monticello, along with the phrases "EPLURIBUSUNUM," United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. While the design itself hasn't changed much since 1938, the beauty and precision of a well-struck coin can make all the difference in its value. And some 1972 nickels possess that stunning strike quality that collectors crave. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 373 million Jefferson nickels in 1972, so at first glance you might think these coins are common. But here's the twist, not all nickels are created equal. Among these millions, a few coins were struck with unusual errors, sharp details, or unique die varieties that turned them from everyday change into collector's gold. Even the slightest variation, a doubled die, a full-step Monticello, or a coin in pristine mint condition, can make a huge difference in its market value. What makes the 1972 no mint mark Jefferson nickel stand out are the rare high-grade examples and those with full steps FS on the reverse. The term full steps refers to the clear, distinct lines visible on the steps of Monticello. This feature is incredibly difficult to find because most coins were weakly struck or worn down from circulation. A 1972 nickel showing all 6 steps sharply defined under magnification is a major rarity, and collectors are willing to pay thousands for one in top condition. Another reason this coin can be worth big money is due to die errors and minting anomalies. Some of the rarest examples include double die obverse DDO varieties, where the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear slightly doubled. Others may have off-center strikes, die cracks, or even planchet flaws that make them unique. These types of minting errors, especially when clearly visible and preserved, can catapult the coin's value far beyond its face value. As with all collectible coins, condition is everything. A circulated 1972 nickel with scratches, wear, or dull luster might only be worth a few cents, but an uncirculated specimen graded or higher by professional grading companies like NGC can command prices from hundreds to even several $1,000s. Add full steps to that, and you're suddenly looking at a coin worth serious money. That's why it's crucial to handle your coins carefully, store them properly, and consider professional grading if you believe you've found something special. Here, where it gets exciting, a 1972 Jefferson nickel no mint mark, graded with full steps, has sold for an astonishing over $2,000 at auction. And even without full steps, high-grade examples regularly fetch hundreds of dollars from eager collectors. These prices continue to rise as the supply of well-preserved coins dwindles and demand among Jefferson series enthusiasts keeps growing. So if you happen to spot a shiny, flawless 1972 nickel in your coin jar, don't spend it, it could be your golden ticket. The 1972 no mint mark Jefferson nickel has gained strong interest in recent years as more collectors complete Jefferson nickel registry sets online. These sets often require top-grade coins with full steps, which are extremely challenging to find for early 1970s issues. This intense competition among collectors has driven up prices for premium examples, making the 1972 no mint mark nickel one of the standout coins from its decade. Its mix of rarity, beauty, and history gives it undeniable appeal. If you're wondering where to find one of these rare nickels, start by checking your old coin rolls, jars, or inherited collections. You can also visit coin shows, estate sales, or online auctions. Always inspect the steps on Monticello with a magnifying glass and look for that crisp detail that indicates a strong strike. Don't overlook a coin just because it looks ordinary. Many valuable 1972 nickels have been found in circulation by lucky collectors who simply took the time to look closely. Before you rush to sell, it's vital to authenticate and grade your coin. Professional grading services like NGC can confirm the authenticity, condition, and rarity of your nickel. A certified grade on the label gives buyers confidence and can multiply the coin's value instantly. It also protects you from underselling your coin to opportunistic dealers or online buyers. So a small grading fee could turn into a massive payday if your coin comes back with that magical full steps label. The future looks bright for high-grade 1972 Jefferson nickels. As fewer untouched rolls exist and collectors continue to chase rare full-step varieties, these coins are becoming harder to find every year. Many numismatists believe their value will only go up, especially for top-graded examples. Holding onto a mint-condition 1972 nickel could very well be a smart long-term investment, one that outshines its humble 5-cent face value many times over. So just how much is your 1972 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark worth? Depending on its grade and condition, it could range from a few cents in worn shape to $2,000 or more in mint state with full steps. That's a massive leap in value, and the kind of surprise that makes coin collecting so exciting. Imagine finding one of these in your old change and discovering it's worth more than your entire coin jar. So there you have it, the story of the 1972 Jefferson nickel no mint mark. A tiny coin with huge potential to make you rich overnight, if. Next up today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Jefferson nickels, specifically the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket change right now and could be worth a small fortune. This humble 5-cent piece from the United States might look ordinary, but under the right conditions, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover the secret behind this potentially life-changing coin. The 1973 Jefferson nickel continues the legacy of the Jefferson series, which began in 1938 to honor the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. These coins feature his left-facing portrait on the obverse, designed by Felix, with his famous home Monticello displayed on the reverse. In 1973, these nickels were struck primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at that time, meaning if your coin doesn't have a letter under the date, it's a no-mint mark nickel from Philadelphia. In 1973, the Philadelphia Mint produced 384,396,000 Jefferson nickels, a massive number by any standard. These coins were made for everyday circulation, meaning most were used, spent, and worn down over time. However, what makes some of these nickels so valuable isn't how many were made. It's the condition they survived in and the rare variations that slipped through the mint's quality checks. Even though billions of nickels have been made over the decades, only a handful from 1973 stand out as true treasures for collectors. Each 1973 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance. The obverse shows Jefferson's sharp profile with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date 1973. On the reverse Monticello, Jefferson's home is beautifully detailed with the words EPLURIBUSUNUM, United States of America, and 5 cents elegantly engraved. The clarity and sharpness of these design details can play a major role in determining the coin's ultimate value. The better struck the coin, the higher its price in the market. Now this is where things get really exciting. Certain error coins from 1973 can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of the most sought-after errors include double die strikes, off-center errors, and planchet flaws. For example, a 1973 Jefferson nickel with an obvious double die on the obverse, where Jefferson's face, lettering, or the date appear doubled, can fetch serious cash among collectors. Off-center coins where the design is misaligned or partially missing are also extremely desirable, especially when more than 50% of the design is missing but the date is still visible. Condition is everything when it comes to coin value. Most circulated 1973 nickels are worth only face value 5 cents. But when you find a coin that's in mint state condition or higher, you're entering the world of big money. Coins with a strong strike, full steps on Monticello, and no scratches or wear can command premium prices. The full steps designation, awarded by grading services like and NGC, means every step of Monticello's staircase is clearly visible, and such coins are incredibly rare for 1973 issues. Let's talk real numbers, the part everyone's been waiting for. While the average 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is worth around 5 to 25 cents, high-grade examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. A 1973 Jefferson nickel graded full steps once sold for over $3,000 at auction. That's right, a 5-cent coin turning into thousands of dollars overnight. The rarity of finding a flawless strike with full steps is what drives these coins to such astonishing prices. So what exactly should you look for? First, examine your 1973 nickel under good lighting or a magnifier. Make sure there's no mint mark under the date that confirms it's from Philadelphia. Then check the details of Monticello. Can you see all the steps clearly? If yes, you may have something valuable. Next, inspect both sides for doubling, misaligned designs, or smooth, lustrous surfaces free from scratches. If your coin meets these conditions, it might be worth sending to a professional grading service. If you believe you found a valuable specimen, consider sending it to reputable grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company. They can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it official status in the collector's market. Once graded, you can list it for sale on major auction platforms like Heritage Auctions, eBay, or where serious collectors and investors are constantly searching for high-grade Jefferson nickels. The demand for high-quality Jefferson nickels has grown significantly in recent years, especially for coins with full steps or verified minting errors. Many collectors aim to complete entire sets from 1938 to the present, meaning coins from the early 1970s in pristine condition are becoming harder to find. As the market continues to evolve, prices for rare 1973 examples are expected to keep climbing, making now the perfect time to check your collection or pocket change. So the next time you come across a 1973 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. That small piece of metal might just be your ticket to a small fortune. It's incredible how coins we use every day can hide immense value if preserved well. Whether you're a beginner or an expert collector, this is one coin that deserves your attention. Who knows, the next coin you find could make you rich overnight. Next up today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising discoveries in U.S. coinage, the 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary 5-cent coin sitting in your pocket change, but don't be fooled. Some of these nickels are worth big money, enough to make you rich overnight if you have the right one. Let's uncover the full story, its history, and why collectors are paying huge amounts for this 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been an American classic since 1938, designed by Felix to honor the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson. By 1974, these nickels were being struck at two main U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver, but the coins struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark. That means if your 1974 nickel doesn't have a D mark under the year, it came straight from the Philadelphia Mint. While most were produced in massive numbers for circulation, a few rare examples stand out due to their condition, striking quality, and unexpected mint errors, making them worth thousands today. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing about 5 grams. On the obverse, you'll see Jefferson's profile facing left, with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty 1974." The reverse displays Jefferson's iconic home, Monticello, with the inscriptions EPLURIBUS UNUM, United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. While these design details remained consistent for decades, subtle differences in the 1974 strikes, such as doubled letters or full steps on Monticello, can drastically increase their market value. Now here, where the excitement begins. Even though millions of 1974 nickels were made, only a small percentage have survived in superb mint state condition, with sharp details, full steps on Monticello, and clean surfaces free from scratches or wear. Collectors call these full steps nickels, and they are incredibly rare from the 1974 Philadelphia mintage. Coins graded or higher by professional grading services like or NGC are the true treasures, commanding astonishing prices in auctions and private sales. So how much can a 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark actually be worth? Let's talk numbers. A typical circulated example might only fetch 5 to 20 cents, but when you find a perfectly preserved mint state specimen, the value skyrockets. In recent years, collectors have paid over $2,000 to $3,500 for top-graded full steps 1974 no mint mark nickels. Exceptional examples with flawless luster, sharp details, and pristine surfaces have even been valued at over $5,000. That's right, a simple 5-cent coin could turn into thousands of dollars in your pocket. One reason some 1974 nickels have become so valuable is because of mint errors and unique variations. These include double die cracks, off-center strikes, and even improperly mixed planchets. Error nickels from this year are considered rare gems and often bring in huge premiums. Some collectors specifically hunt for these error coins because their unpredictable beauty and rarity make them true one-of-a-kind pieces in numismatic history. To check if your 1974 nickel is special, start by inspecting it under bright light or a magnifying glass. Look for the absence of a mint mark, that's the sign of a Philadelphia issue. Then examine the steps on Monticello on the reverse side. If all 6 steps are fully visible and sharply struck, you may be holding a full steps variety. Also, check for doubling on the words Liberty or Monticello. If you notice clear doubling or unusual texture, you could have discovered an error coin worth serious cash. Collectors adore the 1974 Jefferson nickel because it represents a bridge between the classic mid-century nickels and the modern ones. It's from an era where coin production was still handled with great craftsmanship, but also prone to interesting minting variations. Its affordability makes it accessible to beginners, yet its rare high-grade examples attract elite collectors and investors looking for the next big find. With today's growing interest in vintage U.S. coins, the market value for older Jefferson nickels, especially those with exceptional condition or unique errors, continues to rise. Many experts believe that now is the perfect time to start collecting these coins before prices go even higher. As demand increases and top-quality coins disappear into private collections, the value of rare 1974 no-mint mark nickels could easily multiply in the coming years. So if you've got a handful of nickels lying around, it's time to take a closer look. That ordinary 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark could be your ticket to unexpected fortune. With the right condition or an extraordinary error, you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars, a true hidden gem in American coinage history. Always check your change because treasure can be found where you least expect it. Thanks for watching. If you love coin collecting and discovering rare treasures like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends, you never know who might be sitting on a valuable nickel right now. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck hunting your next big find.